Yo, what's going on, y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of PV versus everybody. And listen, I know you're not here for me. All right. I know you're not here for me. We got somebody special in the building this evening. All right. That I know you guys are gonna be excited to see them get to work, right? Give them folks that business. But listen, I need you just calm down. Just calm down a couple seconds, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, we gotta give you a few things before we bring them up. But I know y'all excited. I'm excited. I know y'all excited. Hey, PV Nation, it's time to move. It's time to get it going. You feel me? We got a champ in the building. Got a champ in the building, all right? But before we get into it, man, first and foremost, man, I want to remind y'all, listen, if you're not following us on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, listen, PV_versus_ everybody, make sure you locked in with us over there, all right? Because we're trying to build something big together. Also, hey, listen, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Listen, share this with all of PV Nation. Let them know, hey, we got a champ back in the building, all right? It's a champ back in the building going down University Drive. And listen, you know what champions do. They win, all right? You feel me? And so that's what we seeking to do, right? We're trying to build something in the building right now. So make sure you like, subscribe, go ahead and share that out with those who are maybe interested, right? Of course, if you're interested in jumping on, got something to say, got something to share, listen, the call-in number right there at the bottom of the screen, 346-248-7799, 346-248-7799. If you want to go ahead and call in, right, get in the queue. And also, listen, we're trying to get to 500 subs. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, and I know y'all be watching. I see y'all be watching and not subscribing. Listen, go ahead and show some love. Go and subscribe to the channel, man. Now, I want to let y'all know tomorrow, we got Miles McHaney the fourth coming on the show just to share his experience of being able to be a part of the HBCU Combine, the HBCU Legacy Bowl, right? So make sure you come back out tomorrow as well and support him and just hear his experience, the awesome experience he just had from this past for a couple weeks ago, right out there in New Orleans, man. And so he's going to be on to talk about that. And also, listen, the champ is in the building, and so if you're not in the building, I'm telling y'all, if you don't got your season tickets, don't call me later. Don't reach out to me, be like, hey, man, listen, they still listen. You're going to have to get in where you fit in. I don't know where you might be on. You might be way up top. You feel me? But you ain't going to be in section 107. All right? Because listen, you better get your season tickets right now. Because listen, we only got 30 seats available that's left. All right? So you better go ahead and grab your season tickets. You already know what the schedule look like. Man, we got Texas Southern at home this year. Got Southern. Got A&M Commerce for homecoming. Florida A&M coming through. And like Chris Harris say, he got a taste for Rattler Bites this year. You feel me? So, hey, go ahead and get your season tickets, man. Go ahead and get yourself together. All right, if you want to be in section 106, 107, 108, it's $350. Of course, you sliding over $250. And, of course, the general admission for season tickets is $150. So get in where you fit in. Don't matter. But if you want to be in section 107, you better hurry up because time is running out. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. But I know y'all not here for that. Y'all not here for that. So I'm about to bring up somebody that's dynamic, not just as a player, but as a play caller, right? I mean, he got it on both sides of that thing, right? But I just want to remind y'all who we talking about real quick. So let me just remind y'all real quick who we talking about, right?
He's taking that play clock down to single digits, down to 4 and down to 5, and using his friend, the clock. Babers provides a block on the blitz. Weeden's wide open. One-on-one for the end zone. He'll score!
I'm becoming a big fan of KJ Black. I mean, great decision making, poise, stands tough in the pocket, always has the ability to find the guy that's open.
Yeah, and they got beat again. Zero coverage. They just ran a rub route, which is a man-to-man route. They picked the guy off. Weeden's wide open.
22-yard touchdown. The last PAT by Faggard was blocked.
Listen, you know who it is, man. It's that dynamic guy, Coach Anthony Weeden. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? Lionel, man, I'm going to have to hire you full time. I promise you, dog. I promise you.
Listen, man. Hey, I'm creating intros. Anybody need an intro, I got you. You feel me?
For sure, man. Glad to be here, man. I'm glad to, be on this platform, man. I'm glad to have the opportunity to be back on the hill, man. So, again, man, appreciate you putting this on. Appreciate the backing from Jump. And, man, I can't wait to get this thing started.
Oh, man, I see it, man. People just showing you some love in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? So I know that everybody's excited to have you back on the hill. And I just want to know, man, listen, first and foremost, the first thing that I said when I heard it through the grapevine, the first thing I said when I saw the pictures was like, where you get that jacket from? That's literally that's actually the first thing I thought about. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that jacket is fire.
It was really my CEO. My CEO set that up. So shout out to my CEO. She behind the scenes. She does everything like that. So just her vision coming to life. Was able to get those jackets. Like, I know we can drop the link in here later, just so we can support a Black business, because again, that's where we got it from. So all is well with that one.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And when you got there, man, I just because obviously when you were at PV, right, this was before the stadium, right? So for a lot of the glitz and glamour that we see have come to the Hill now, right? And so in that moment, right, when CEO setting up the photo shoot, right, what I'm saying, got the kids, like, what was going through your mind then when you realized, like, yo, this is actually, it's not even just something that we talking, we not negotiating, like it's an actual done deal. Like I'm about to come back, and not only am I going to play on the Hill, I'm about to come back and coach on the Hill as well.
Man, it was again surreal because I'm looking at this as an opportunity to pour back into these kids I was just in their shoes, 15 years ago, exact date, exact year. So being able to come back and have this opportunity, again, I have goals myself, pretty high goals and expectations for myself, and looking at where I was in life, writing down everything that I wanted, with the opportunities that were on the table. Prairie was where I wanted to be and where I needed to be, and so it was truly heartfelt. Again, being in that stadium, have you been in the press box yet?
Oh man, I haven't toured the press box yet.
See, again, this is the biggest secret in Texas right now. It's the best view on campus, period, hands down. And so going up there, looking down on the field, again, being able to see the Baby Dome, being able to see the library, the MSC, and then again, the beautiful field house that we got, there, man, it's like, the picture doesn't do it justice. So I want people to make sure that they can be able to get into that suite to be able to see that view whenever they get on campus. It's not like we block it off, just so we can say, man, this alumni, it's time for us to be able to come back.
Yeah.
But having this opportunity has been the best. Just getting started, coming in every day. These kids are hungry. They're ready to win. Again, Coach Bubba McDowell with the opportunity, just being able to bless me to be able to come back and be able to do this, to be able to help him out. And again, it was a hand in glove fit inside a profession. He needed somebody to score points. Again, I'm confident in doing that. Not cocky, but again, man, I think my resume speaks for itself. And so now here we are. We are, and the journey is going to be nothing but work. Of course, right now it's the honeymoon phase. It's all laughs and smiling. But I know at the end of the day, man, the only thing that's going to keep us here or keep me in this seat is work. So willing to put in the work, ready to put in the work, and excited to be able to have the opportunity just to pour back into my university, my alma mater.
Oh man, that's dope, man. And I think that is something, I think we had the same conversation early on in the fall, right? When we talked about Coach Lindsay, coming back and getting connected with the women's volleyball team, right? We talk about somebody that's alum who actually has gone out and put in the work, right? We're not just talking about somebody like, okay, listen, we give you a legacy spot simply because, right?
Sure.
Because that's not how we elevate the university. That's not how we elevate ourselves as individuals either, right? Like, we want somebody that's going to come in because they have done the work to show. They have the ability now to take us to the next level, right? And so, like you say, man, I think it was definitely such a hand and glove fit, man. And like, obviously, we're super excited. And like the chat super excited to have you come back on the Hill too, man. And, before we really get into it, man, I want to just take you back, right? Because obviously, when we talk about you, and even when we did the show earlier in the year, it's like, hey, listen, it's not just a PV alum, it's a SWAC champion, right? You know what I'm saying? 2009 SWAC champ, right? Obviously 2007, right? You were All-American as well. Man, what was it like, right? Did you and your teammates at that time, right? Did y'all understand how much y'all were changing the trajectory of Prairie View football and Prairie View athletics in general? Did y'all even understand that at that time?
Well, at the time, man, that was the sell. That was the selling point. That was the vision. That was the dream. One thing, man, shout out to Henry Frazier. I don't know. We got to get my man in the Hall of Fame by himself because the vision that he had, I think he had the best job inside of college football at the time. Took the worst football program and took it to the highest that he could actually go. When I say that, again, we were coming off of 30 consecutive losing seasons. My freshman year, we were 3-7. And so he still had a vision of one, being able to take that job with, a number of other people taking that job and failing at it. And then whenever we came along, man, that was our whole mission the whole time was to be able to, bring the SWAC championship to Prairie View. It hadn't been done since the 60s, you know? And so looking at it now, not only had it been done in the 60s, man, it hadn't been done since. And so that was a hell of a job just by Coach Frazier himself for being able to take it and being able to do that. But inside of that, man, we're just living in the moment. We understood that, man, shoot, our moment is now. You know, shout out to my teammates from that class. We did a special things that, again, hadn't been done since. I'm proud of that. And I'll talk about that inside of my coaching profession. My moments at Prairie View set me up in my profession just in the standpoint of belief. The power of belief is so strong, you know, and we talk about being connected to the Most High. We talk about faith. We talk about the light. But just that power of belief is so important into having people's lives. And so, again, nobody could see that back then, but it was important for us to be able to go down that journey and say that it can be done. And so now when I'm looking into my players' eyes, man, I believe. And there's no smoke and mirrors of me saying I want to win a SWAC championship for Prairie View. No, man, this is what runs through my veins.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, our mission is our mission. And I'll say this about our kids. Our kids just needed the information. Their hunger is there. And so, you know, when you look at it, you come in, you say, man, why did you choose Prairie View? I didn't choose Prairie View for the same reasons you chose Prairie View. They was able to see the facilities. Our campus, let me put that out there. I've been around these FCS, you know, in this FCS world. You know, our campus is beautiful. You know, how many other campuses do you know got their own bowling, bowling alley, with the new gym and the new buildings going up, with the new business building that went up, the criminal justice building, the new engineering building. You know, you got all these new things, man. I go back, I'm driving around, man. You see the square, you know, you got townhomes on campus. Man, what literally, you know, Prairie View is second to none in type of experience. And so, being able to come back and know what we did back then, to say, man, I got an opportunity to do it again, but on this coaching side, and you can't beat that, you know, with a baseball bat. You really can't.
Whew, man. I mean, and coming from someone, like you said, right, when you look at the program itself and to say, hey, listen, this is where we came from to get to a point where now we're at the pinnacle of the conference and won the SWAC title. So now, like, you can really put me in any situation. Why wouldn't I believe, right? And that's that intrinsic thing that you can't see, right? But that has to be in the locker room. And I talked to Coach Green early in the year at the National Signing Day. And one thing he talked about then was, we want to go out and get guys. He was talking about his offensive line at that time. He said, I want to go out and get guys who know how to win championships. We went and got guys who are championship winning guys, because one thing that you have to learn is how to win, right? But then there's also, you have to have the belief that you can win and accomplish something, right? People pay a lot of money to change their mindset, right? You know what I mean? And so the fact that you're coming in and bringing that, you know what I'm saying, to the kids on the university, man, it's just awesome. You know what I mean? To hear that. And you can hear the confidence, you know what I'm saying, in your voice. You know what I mean?
You know, the confidence only comes from preparation. You know, I'm not sitting here as a cocky individual, but I am super confident in the job that I can do here at Prairie View. And I tell our kids that, man, the reason why we're going to go out there and we're going to be successful is because of preparation. Not in the time of August, September, October, but now, you know, the time is now. And so they know that, man, and they have accepted it. They don't run from accountability, even when I'm holding them accountable to some things that they may not hear from that new coach that is unbiased and wants to play the best guy at his university. Man, they're not running from any of the smoke that I'm putting out there. So, but that's super important, man. Again, not only in just football, but just in life, being a believer, being connected to something that's bigger than yourself, and living your life connected to that power, man, it's going to put you in places that you would never believe that you could be. And so I want to pass that on to my people. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I want to be able to pass that on my players. And, you know, shout out to my coworkers. Let's not get this thing twisted. Yeah. You know, these guys have been in the SWAC championship, you know, 2 out of the last 4 years. So, and they've won the West too. So, and that's tough to do as well, whether we got the stadium or not, you know, whether we feel like we got the resources or not. You know, I think every university has its pitfalls, and, you know, Coach Bubba is learning And his third year being a head coach, he actually knew what he wanted on offense. And so now I feel like they putting that thing together. Heck, I'm just that last, Thanos stone to be able to put in our hand to be able to, push us over the top. You like that Marvel reference right there. I know you're a Marvel guy right there. I see.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, hey, people snap. I do poetry, so snapping fingers is kind of in my repertoire. You feel me? You know what I mean?
I like it.
But nah, man, that's real. Like you say, it's just really putting the right pieces in place at the end of the day, right? You know what I mean? And like you say, right, it's about that challenge, right? Not just players challenging one another, coaches challenging players, coaches challenging coaches, right? Like that's how we all get better, right? Hey, y'all challenging us as alumni, right? Like that's how we all continue to get better as a university. And man, that's what we want to continue to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to ask you too. I know after your playing career, right? But your first stop was at what, Northwest Oklahoma State?
Little small town, Alva, Oklahoma. But again, my whole journey, if you want to talk about my journey, was really just on the backs of people giving me an opportunity. At the time, I had a big vision of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to accomplish inside of this profession. And so I knew in order to be able to do that, I wanted to be able to make a name for myself. So I went out on my own, and I was able to run across people that, was able to hire me, like, Matt Walter, who was the head coach at Northwestern Oklahoma State. To be able to see this young kid with a whole bunch of energy. And you talk about I was raw. I'm coming straight from I'm raw at this time and talking about as a professional. And so being able to get there, being able to, cut my teeth. I also went to another school called Missouri Southern. I was under Denver Johnson. Denver Johnson, again, longtime O-line coach in the profession. But he was able to give me an opportunity, put me under his wing, really showed me how to be professional inside of a professional setting. Which allowed me to go back to Northwestern inside of a different role as the pass game coordinator. And then I actually left there to go out west to at the time it's Dixie State, is Utah Tech now. I was able to work for Shea McClure, guys like Blake Rowland, who actually showed me offensive structure. And so inside that, man, I love just the journey and learning ball and learning how to be successful in this profession. Had some success, and so now I was ready to be offensive coordinator. So I come back to Matt Walter again. This guy didn't have to trusted me with the offense. I really learned some things. COVID hit, and then the opportunity popped up at Campbell, where Nick Grimes and one of the best mentors that I've had inside this profession, Mike Mentor. I was able to go over there and really learn how to be myself, honestly, in the profession. So you can say, man, when I crossed over, I am trying to mimic and mold. And then look at Mike Benner. He's made millions of dollars. Man, he's out here being himself. And it gave me confidence to go out here and say, man, look, this is who I am. I'm branding myself. And he really taught me a lot about systems. So I broke down systems, studied systems, and voila, man, this is how we got the chaos offense. Again, he poured into me more so on the spiritual side as well. And then I got to shout out another lady. Her name is Dr. Mari Ross. She did a great job with making me look at myself, making sure that, I am tapping into the psychological side of life, and bettering yourself and understanding that, everybody else ain't the problem. Sometimes it's you. And if you ain't on the journey of correcting yourself, man, you're not going to get better inside this life, and you're not going to get what you want out of it. So the reason why that was so important, people, is because that's what we pour into our kids. That's what we're pouring into our youth. If we're not doing that, then we're really just wasting our time. So it's super important for us to be able to give back, like you're talking about, and why PV was just so high on my list to be able to come back.
Man, that's really dope. And that's one thing that I saw when I was kind of just, looking in the background. I saw, that when you went back to Northwest, that you went back as the OC, right? You know what I mean? And that was one question that I had in my mind, just that relationship, obviously, for him to pass it over and to put that trust in you, right? Seeing that, hey, he was his own OC, for years, right? But now you come back and they say, hey, Anthony, man, I'm gonna hand this over to you. I put that type of belief and trust in you, man. And so, like you said, that's big to see and understand how. And the relationships is just so big, right?
You need help. You can't do it by yourself. There's some information that you just do not have. There's some doors that you just cannot open. You cannot do it by yourself. And again, it takes a mastermind group. Most people think of a mastermind by himself, but a mastermind is a group of people. And so, if you're going to go at this thing in life, man, you better be connected with some people. It's about not only what you know, it's about who you know and who knows you. So you need to make sure, you shake hands. I don't care if it makes your voice shake. I don't care if, you get uneasy with it. But you got to get out here and start to build these relationships and cultivate these relationships. And so, again, same things that we telling our players. And when you talk about this truth to them, they see through, our regular football talk. I could come out, talk X's and O's, talk ball, but man, that's not what it's about. And I feel like if I'm successful in this profession, it's because of that. The kids see that I'm authentic. I'm not trying to be anything but myself, and put them on game, because how many people are gonna go on and play in the league, man? It's very far and few for many. I want them kids to have that opportunity. We feel like our system gives them the opportunity, but that's not what we hang in our hat. We hang in our hat in the things that we talk about daily, pouring into them as men.
And that's what we love, because I think we was talking with Tuck one time, and just like that's the reality, right? The reality is we're preparing people for whatever it is that God is going to take them to do in life, right? You know what I'm saying? And how are they gonna pick up that mantle, and how are they gonna work? You know what I mean? Are they gonna put their full effort and energy into wherever he puts them all around this world to pour and impact people at the end of the day? And so, like you say, really, you have such an important position, right? Not simply because of the football side of it, right? Obviously, everybody loves that. They love the game, right, and watching. But it's like what you pour into these young men, you know what I'm saying, and how they're going to go in the trajectory of life. And so super excited, man, that you having a chance to come back and connect with them and pour back into them like that, man. And I know you talked about Mike Mentor a little bit, man. And one thing that was huge at Campbell, obviously, right, was, of course, of the last couple of years, obviously with Deion running through Jackson, right, during that time. And every time everybody's looking at Deion, he got, hey, listen, Travis Hunter coming over here. But then you look up and say, but Campbell, right? You know what I'm saying? But Campbell, you know what I'm saying, as far as on the recruiting trail, I mean, has done such a wonderful, marvelous job, obviously. And obviously, I know Braxton popped over to HCU to pop back, right? You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And he had HCU rolling like crazy.
No doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't hold any punches. You can't hate on that, man. The truth is the truth. The truth is in results, and you see what he did.
Man, that's fine. I mean, what was it from just a recruiting standpoint, or maybe a philosophy standpoint, what I'm saying, in the building at Campbell with Mike Mentor that put you guys in a position where you guys could go out and acquire, what I'm saying, the talent that you guys got in the building?
Truth. We gave them kids truth. And we weren't scared to recruit anybody. Man, 5-star, 4-star, man, we shooting at everything. Because we were confident in ourselves, we were confident in what we were building, and the kids, man, they're trying to find themselves at this point in life, and so that's what they found. They found that light that's inside of them that we want them to get connected to, so they can connect to the source. Period. And when you talk like that and you say, man, as I show up, I just want to be able to, connect you to your greatness. I want to unlock the greatness that's inside you. Then kids listen. And so they were bought in. Our buy-in was so high. Again, our results spoke for themselves. Recruiting class #1 for the past 2 years, and why not PV?
Yes,
that's what I'm on now. Again, I love what we did at Campbell. It was a great thing. Why not PV?
Yeah,
I know what facilities look like. I know what our facilities look like. I know what our campus looks like. I know where you're going to be resource-wise, and I know what offense you're going to be playing in. I know what defense you're going to be playing in, and I know who your head coach is too. So why not PV? And so that's just a mindset. So, and I'm glad that I can be able to bring that thing back and bring it around full circle.
Yeah, and that's fine. And listen, if you out there watching, why not PV? You feel me? You already know what it is. So make sure you connect. Hey, listen, hit up Coach Weeden, hit up Coach Bubba, hit up Coach Weeden. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Not? But it's the belief, like you say, right? It's the change of the mindset and the belief. If you don't have the belief that you can go out here and I can compete with whoever is on the field, right? And obviously, I know, I know that a couple last year, right? You had Julian Hill, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That came from a team. Obviously, he's with Miami now, right? And so when you can see, not only just like, man, I'm gonna matriculate through school, right? I'm gonna get my degree, but I also have a chance. I got a shot, right, to be able to be put in the best positions that's gonna showcase my talent, right? And I think at the end of the day, that's what these kids really want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, am I gonna be in a position where I'm gonna be able to graduate and I'm going to be able to showcase my talent to the best of my abilities. And I think that's for sure, something that, you've been doing the last couple of years, man. And I had a picture, you know what I mean? I grabbed it. I be grabbing stuff online, you feel me? You know what I mean? This
look at you.
Award.
Yeah, man. Again, that's shout out to our players. Shout out to the people that I worked with, my coworkers there at Campbell. It's hard to get everybody on the same page to buy into a vision. And so one thing that God did bless me with was a vision. And so with that vision, I still have to be able to delegate, and people still have to buy into it. So my assistant coaches went above and beyond in just getting our buy-in where it's supposed to be, just the ideas, our play calls. I love ball too, just as much as I love developing these kids. And so, we put a product on the field that we're proud of that's going to live on forever inside of, that award. And that is true. That is numbers. So, we looking to see where the numbers fall this next year, see where we're at. And, this year coming up, it really connects us to our players. You talk about, I know you're probably going to ask, schematically, man, what we going to do here at Prairie View? And honestly, man, it's really just about what can our players do? I'm not going to do the exact same thing I did at Campbell just because I don't have the exact same players that I have at Campbell. Me sitting down, getting actual touches in with our players, seeing what they like, what they don't like, what they can be successful with inside their pass is important. It's important to me. I like to make them the front and center inside of that. And so, we'll do what our players are best at, period. And so my assistant coaches go a long way inside of that too, because they know these kids. They recruited them just like you talked about, Coach Green. They went out and got the needs that they wanted. They recruited a certain way. And so we can't wait to be able to go out and show you the product that we have on the backside of this thing. This is not a rebuild. They brought me over here to score points, and that's what we're looking to do.
This is not a rebuild. That's for all y'all out there, in internet land who don't understand it's PV versus everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? Just, for some of y'all who don't know, right? You know what I'm saying? What this Graphite Award is, right? So this is from R2 Sports Technology, right? Each year they're giving out an award, right, for the play caller in each conference, right? Who has basically aligned their team based on their best strengths against the opponent's weaknesses, right? And so they have kind of, different data they pull in for that, right? And they have a play caller efficiency ratio. So for you guys who may not have heard of that, right? That's what Mr. Weeden, right, was gifted with. And like you said, though, right, it's a team, you know what I'm saying? It's not just obviously him, it's the coaches and it's the players, right? All come together, and it's a testament of getting everybody on the same page. But there was going to be a question I had because, especially coming into a new environment, right? Obviously, you were not here, say early on, right, and had maybe more tentacles into, okay, hey, these are maybe the specific kind of players or strengths that I'm looking for, etc. So now you're really coming in with the players that have already been brought in. But like you say, you kind of answered it already, saying that, hey, I'm going to build around the strengths that these individuals have already, right? And what they like to do. The other thing I was going to ask, right, coming in now in the springtime, obviously, right? I mean, this is the get better season, they call it, right? Mm-hmm. What are you looking for when you're talking? Because hey, you're coming in, it's like, I'm touching everybody fresh and new, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't have any, preconceived biases, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a list from last year of what the depth chart was, right? I'm coming in literally fresh and new, right? So how are you coming in and evaluating the talent and the players, right? To not only just figure out depth chart and things of that nature, right? But also put them in a position of where, hey, I'm also looking to help you guys to get better in these specific ways based on the position that you're playing.
Oh man, it's a really good teaching tool. that I found, again, being able to come in and talk to these kids and say, man, exactly what you said. There's no bias. There's no hate. I'm here to pour into you. This is my alma mater. I'm looking to play the best person. And it's not necessarily the person with the most talent. And so whenever I talk to our players, I talk about swagger. You got to have a certain type of swagger in order to play in our offense. And swagger is just a metaphor, an acronym, I'm sorry, for selflessness, work, attitude, grit, and accountability. And so we start all of our meeting. Remember, man, it's about that mindset. We talk about culture more than anything. And you got to have a certain type of swagger. And that's what we talk about in order to be able to play. None of those things that I named have anything to do with athletic ability. Right? It has everything to do with, core values at the end of the day. And I want to make sure our kids have core values that not only going to benefit them as they play for us, but benefit them way longer after life. And so I want them to have swagger all the way through it. And so it's something that I hope to be able to leave as a legacy for any player that ever played for me. They'll be able to understand and say, man, they can talk about swagger, and then they can talk about this other thing that we talk about is 30 for 30. And that 30 for 30 talks about a multitude of things. It talks about efficiency. It talks about our tempo. It also talks about our legacy, which is the biggest thing that one of the things that I tell my former players is, man, the one thing that I hated was our legacy didn't live on here at Prairie. We won that championship and we hadn't won one since. So that's one of the things that, again, God graced me with the opportunity to come back and be able to do again. And so, again, it just comes full circle. But I want somebody to make a 30 for 30 for us. You see them ESPN 30 for 30s?
Yeah.
PV.
Yeah.
Worst to first. Okay. Now I get to come back as a coach and be able to get this thing done with, an all-pro head coach. Man, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why not us? And so all this comes down to is you got to be productive. You got to produce this vision that we're talking about all in our heads. Why not host a SWAC championship game?
Come
so
on.
we can be able to go to Atlanta. Why can't we do those things? And I'm writing big checks right now, but it's all about the work that we're willing to put in. So if we're not willing to put in this work, then let's stop talking about it. And that's what we talk about for our players. And alumni, I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna hit our alumni real quick and hit them with some truth. Man, don't ask to do these things if you're not connected to our programs and coming and pouring in the knowledge that you have into our kids. We need you. Man, I'm crying for you guys to come back. Man, I'll walk around myself. I'll get you connected to our kids to be able to place them for jobs. Because, man, that's what we're looking for. Yeah. And I'm trying to make sure I get these kids paid in whatever way. So I don't care if that opportunity is at a different school moving up, And so this is the truth that we talk about inside these rooms that got these kids to commit to us at Campbell. And here I am spilling the beans, but the truth is the truth. When they hit you, it hits you. And you got to be, you got to be able to understand, the landscape of life, what it is right now, and what it is that we're looking to do. And that's what we're looking to do. So alumni, man, I'm calling y'all out. We're going to need y'all down the stretch. But what we want to do is either we're going to play 12 to 14 games. Yeah. It's a long, grueling season. I know we're going to take care of homecoming. I know we're going to take care of TSU at the crib. I'm talking about in support. Okay. I've seen our university support us at levels. There you go. Put that up for them. Look at that venue. I've seen people support us at levels that, I think at the peak of what our football program was in recent years in 2009. Yeah. I want my kids or our players, that we're coaching with my coworkers to have that same support. Yeah. Look at that. Let's pack that out. And I'm not just talking about homecoming, but down the stretch, man, we got Southern coming to our place. And why not pack this thing out as they travel? We got Florida A&M coming down the stretch. We got Alcorn coming down the stretch. Man, I don't want to see more Rattlers in that stadium than we have. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my vision. That's my challenge. And I promise you, I think if we pour that energy back into our players, they're gonna give it to us in down the stretch when they are tired, when they are fatigued, so we can get everything we want. Why not host a SWAC championship game right here? That's the big. Come on, and be able to get to Atlanta. Because again, we're trying to win the whole thing. I didn't have that. We didn't have a Celebration Bowl. And so that's what we're looking to do. And again, big checks. I get it, big checks, but we shooting for the stars. Why not?
Come on, man. Like literally at the end of the day, I remember, reading a statement in a book one time, right? And it says, that people accomplish little because they attempt little.
Mm,
That's the reality, right?
mm.
You can never accomplish more than you dream that you can accomplish, right? And so the first thing that we have to do is just like you bringing it here, right? First of all, why not PV in the first place? With everything, right? Whether it's with students coming in, whether it's you talking about the facilities, whether you talking about hosting SWAC championship game, whether it's like literally averaging 15K next year, why not us? We got to first believe. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to, I tell people all the time, listen, I come from Louisiana area. We used to go to Grambling games. My dad ain't go to Grambling. We just community people. Why not? You telling me that people that maybe Texas A&M fans can also be PV fans and come show up to PV games because they say, man, I'm a fan of PV. Man, we listen.
Preach, Lionel. Preach.
Why not PV, right? And this the year. This is the year to get it done, man. And so I'm super excited by just the momentum, man. And that's why I'm super excited about you coming back, because obviously you have that connection. You talked about legacy, right? And to me, that's what it's about. When we grab the bull by the horns as alumni and say, what is the legacy that I individually want to bring? Because we're only one individual, but we can impact so many people around us, just like you coming on and sharing, right? You can do what you can do, but then it's like each one of us, what is the legacy that we can leave? If we connect one of these student athletes with a job, that's our legacy continuing home to the future, right? You know what I'm saying? If we bring people from our ISDs, right, to come to the game, and those turn into PV students, those turn into fans of Prairie View, we leave in a legacy, right? We talking about leaving a legacy. That's what we own right now, man. And I literally feel the energy, you know what I'm saying, just from this conversation. And I know, those in the chat, those who gonna watch the replay as well, man, y'all gonna feel it. And so when we talking about getting season tickets, we're really not just talking about this from just a random standpoint. It's about, listen, we're changing the culture right now.
That's it.
We're changing the culture of Prairie View and PV athletics. This whole thing is going to be something new that we're going to create and birth right now. And like you say, we're not going to leave it for and say, man, it was since 2009. No, not anymore. We about to change that whole narrative, man. So
not just for Prairie View football either, man. I'm talking about, like you said, Lionel, all athletics, prior volleyball players, we need you back. Coach Lindsay needs you back. We talk about track and field, we need y'all back. We need this support all the way through. Gold Members Club, all our old Gold Members Club, come back. What we're talking about, come coach up these other Gold Members Club. It kind of fell off in COVID. They don't know what they're doing. Man, come holler at them, man. Go teach them the trades, the trades of the land, how to be a fan, how to be an alum, how to support. And I'm talking about even the oldest of old, man. We need to learn how to tailgate with this beautiful land that we got, man. We're trying to learn it all. We're trying to teach it all. And that's how we're going to pass down our legacy, and that's how we create it.
Man, that's dope, man. Man, listen, you got me hyped. I ain't gonna lie. You got me hyped, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you coming on and just sharing that wisdom, to us, and sharing what your vision is for you. When you talk about going into New Year, you're a guy that says, man, listen, I come in, I have vision, I have goals, I have plans, right? Obviously, you're coming in and still, starting to get connected with, the student athletes right on campus. But for you, do you have specific goals that you're saying, hey, these are the things that I'm setting up for us for this new year, from a standpoint of, hey, me from an offensive side of things, this is what I'm looking to do and accomplish?
Yeah, I really feel like I was prepared to be able to come back and just speak those words. The vision of, this is not a PV football thing. This is a Prairie View, all the way across the board, campus thing. And I want to be connected all the way through. I also, I appreciate Coach Bubba for giving me this opportunity, just because, man, I want to be able to do this for him in his third year. Just the opportunity itself, I'm super grateful just to have it. And I want to make sure I do that as well. And I told you, man, I'm an open book. I want to host a SWAC championship game. And even inside of that journey, there's adversity in there. You say, okay, well, Coach Weeden, man, what if that doesn't happen and you don't host it? Well, I want to play in it. That's the next thing. Okay, where's it at? I'll go play in it. And it shows our kids, man, that if we can talk about great things, then they can talk about great things
Oh.
and not be afraid of not hitting it. You don't hit it, okay, so what? I said it, and I get to make another shot at it. The key is, man, you don't see what time I get up to be able to go to work. You don't see what time I'm able to come home. It's going to be that's what's going to separate us from getting our goals and not getting them. And so that's what I call about. I talk about offensively, talk about our goals. And again, it's not about these stats, but it's just about principles. And we talk about, we want to be exciting. I want kids to be excited to play for us. I want our fans to be excited to watch us. We talk about it being efficient, and that's what, again, that award comes from, just playing efficient football, being productive, being able to score points. And then the last thing is just I want to be effective, and that is winning. And so those are the things that I look at and I write down and I talk about, ad nauseum to myself. That's what we want to be able to be. And, what that looks like, we don't know, but in principle, that's all I'm looking to build.
I got you. Just seeking to be as efficient as possible. And I think, when we look back at the stats in the past, that's obviously what you've been, right? You know what I mean? And you see this, from the last 2 years, right?
You own it, not Lionel. I promise you, I'm gonna hire you.
Listen, listen, I do what I do. You feel me? You do what you do, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't calling no plays, you know what I'm saying? But I pull up some stuff on the interview. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do. You feel me? But now, but yeah, man, I mean, obviously the last couple of years, right, in the CAA, and obviously in the Big South as well, right? We see how efficient your offense is being. One thing that stood out to me was just kind of how you really been able to spread the ball around, right? And from the standpoint of, passing, run percentage, you've been almost like dead center, right? I think 2022 it was 52.5% run, 47.5% pass, right? Last year 55% run, 45% pass, right? So you really like spot down the middle. Is that kind of, when you talk about being efficient, are you looking at not wanting to be too heavy run or pass, right? But be able to do both very well?
I'm gonna steal this from Mike Minner. I don't want to be married to anything when it comes to football wise. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do out what's the best for our team, what's the best for our players. And so it just worked out that way. If we got players that can be explosive, we'll be more pass. If we don't, then we'll be more run. And then inside of situational football, man, we just picking what we need. We're gonna go with the best play, getting to our best player, and putting the ball on his back inside of the preparation that we had to be able to get that ready. So whenever you asking about what you look to do, it's like, man, I'm not married to anything. Yeah, I'll go into a game. If I have to run it every play, we'll run it every play. If I got to pass it every play, I'll pass it every play. Whatever it is for us to be effective, to be efficient, and at the end of the day, for our kids to be excited to play in and people to be excited to watch.
Oh no, and that's big. And I mean, it seems like, first and foremost, man, if you ain't in shape, you can't play. First of all, you know what I'm saying?
Look, we try to do two things, right? We're going to be physical, and we're going to make you fatigued. Because I think I look at the game as a fight. That's just how I look at it. As we go in these 12 rounds, I want to be able to throw body punches. I want to be able to throw haymakers. I want to be able to throw jabs. But at the end of the day, I'm always be in your face. I'm crowding you, and that's what we're doing. And I'm looking to take your best punch, but we're going to be scrappy. We're going to be physical, and we're looking for you to be fatigued. That's
I love that, and I mean, it brings it back when you're talking about playing players and you're looking for people with that swagger, right? And because when I just kind of seen something, when I was kind of watching some of the past games, it's like, man, you got to have people who have an IQ to be able to. I mean, for you to be able to, be that efficient and also work at that speed, man, you got to be dealing with players, right, who understand your terminology, right, because you're getting plays in and out, what I'm saying? And so I think that's something that's super interesting, to see how that worked on the field, right, and for guys to be where they need to be. It's going to be exciting. I'm not going to lie, man. I can't wait to see kind of how it takes shape here on the hill, man.
Yeah. So again, looking for our kids. So far, since I've been here, what I can tell you is their buy-in is high, and what our standard is, they've been rising up to the standard. And however much time it takes for them to put in, they're coming prepared. And at the end of the day, I just want their best. And if they give me that, I'll be happy. And so far, they've given me their best. And so I can work with that. I can go home. I can go to sleep at night. But if I'm not getting the best out of them, I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be tossing and turning. And the product probably won't be as good. But as long as I'm getting the best out of not only the players, but the coaches that I work with as well, at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to enhance everybody that I touch. And so as long as that we're doing that as a collective unit, then we'll have some success, and you'll see it inside of our numbers, because that's what holds the truth. I can say whatever I want right now. You can play it back when it comes to December, but at the end of the day, you're going to be able to put up these numbers and see what the truth lies with wins and losses. Was it just really smoke that I was talking about, or do I really believe in what we say, and how effective we can be inside of that? And so, man, I'm excited to go on that journey.
Yeah.
The truth is coming, man. The results is coming, and so we got to get ready for them, and so that's what we're building for.
Oh, man, I'm excited, man. And for all y'all who are getting ready, listen, spring game, I believe it's going to be April 13th. April 13th. So listen, man, it's time to get excited about what's coming, right? And it starts right now. And hey, first and foremost, one thing that stat that stood out from last year, man, was we were 6-0 when we scored over 20 points, right? 0-6 when we score under 20, right? You know what I mean? And so the most exciting thing about these numbers on the screen is that 31 and that 28. Okay. All right. Listen. All right.
Don't get it twisted. I was brought here to score points. That is true. I was brought here to score points. No knock on anybody, but that's my job description. Score points for Prairie View A&M football team. And so, that's what we're gonna do. I like my alma mater. What's the worst thing? Think about this, man. I'm sitting here saying, wow, I got this opportunity. Do you think I want to be shunned from my alma mater? Now I'm on this other side. You think I don't want to be able to show my face because we couldn't deliver inside of points? No. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what this is. Yeah. I want the Harbaugh effect. Harbaugh went back to his alma mater and was able to win the championship.
Right. Yeah.
He's good. But the other years of him struggling, I'm like, boy, look, this is two things that I don't want to do. Let's go out here and be successful. So how hard do I got to work to do that? That's what I want to do. And so, again, we've been answering the bell so far. And again, I just want to enjoy the journey day by day.
Yes.
Live in the moment, and that's what we're doing.
That's what's up, man. And so for anybody, man, we about to get ready to close off, man. I appreciate your time so much. If anybody got any specific question, they say, man, listen, I have this question for Coach Weeden. You can go ahead and drop it in the chat. Obviously, call in number 346-248-7799, man. But I want to ask you, listen, SWAC championship game, Prairie View, Texas. Talking December. You guys get the win. What will that do? Because one thing you said earlier that I really just love was the fact that you said, man, we won the championship, but we look back and we didn't see that we left a legacy, right? We didn't see that we turned around and we saw another SWAC title, another SWAC West championship, another SWAC title after that. We didn't see that, right? What will that do not only in your mind for you, right? One, right, to come back and be able to do that, but also for all the other alum that you played with in that time, right, from 2006 all the way to 2009. What does that do?
I think it just brings those feelings back. You guys got to understand the support that I got from my brothers, and whenever we announced that I was coming back, was second to none. These guys are lifelong friends. These guys, we got a group chat that we talk in daily. And so it's just not, it's a brotherhood that can't really be broken. And our biggest thing is growing that for the kids that are playing now, and again, I can talk from that standpoint. Most of everybody else, I had to suppress these feelings for me because again, I was in the profession. Well, now that I'm at my alma mater, I can let all this get poured out and see the other side of being an alum and being a coach. There's only so much that my coworkers can do, but for me, man, I can get connected to these alum. I will personally give you a tour myself. One of my favorite stories that I've had is Mr. McGowan played on the 65 championship team, came back and was able to look at the facility. His wife went to Prairie View. They're there looking at the facility, but more importantly, man, they had a room that they bought, that their name was on the side of the room, inside of our tutoring center. And so they went back in there and said, man, I knew it was getting renovated. I was able to show them around and say, man, this is what I was here for. This is, this is my second day on the job. I just bumped into you in the hallway. This is what I'm here for. So I want more stories of that. And, again, growing, you see our guys doing great things, even inside the profession. You look at guys like KJ Black. You look at guys like Sean Stevens, great dear friends of mine, but we got success all over. So now let's just get it connected to our kids inside of, networking and what we do all the way across athletics as well.
That's big, man. And that's one thing that, we're seeking and always saying, hey, how can we do more of is connecting the alum back with the kids and the staff on campus right now. Because, when you build those connections, that's when you really start to talk about being able to do something that continues on and on and on and change the full trajectory, right, of what we're doing here at PV. And again, man, like you say, why not PV, right? You know what I'm saying? I think we just gonna make that the mantra. You feel me?
That's it.
I think we done found something, tapped in something right now. You know what I mean? I already got my All Games Matter shirt, you know what I'm saying? For PV versus everybody, you know what I'm saying? All games matter. So listen, why not
PV on the back and let's get rocking?
Why not PV, man? You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, Coach, I appreciate you for coming through. And just for sharing your heart, man, because at the end of the day, that's what you've done for us this evening. I know you got alum super excited. I know my boy Brandon. You had Brandon watching from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? You doing something when boys tuning in from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He on the beach somewhere laid up. His wife probably looking at him right now, like, are you really on your phone? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you marry, we all understand this, right? You know what I mean? But listen, you get him in trouble right now because he's so excited. All right,
man. I appreciate Brandon Lee. Shout out to Brandon Lee, man. I ain't gonna get him out the doghouse, but for sure, man, I appreciate the support, and it's really just supporting us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, any last words, man, before we close out this evening? Any last words just for PV alum, the fans, the supporters, right? Because there are supporters out there who aren't even alum of PV, right? Who are connected to the athletic program in general. You know what I mean? But just any last words for all of us, man, as we close out this evening.
I want to paint a picture of a vision. Prairie View versus the team in Houston. First game of the season. For me, it's big because, again, we get to talk to, shout out to ADP, connecting our 15th anniversary of when we won the SWAC championship, bringing that team out at halftime. And can you see that beautiful facility that you can put up, that beautiful stadium, packed out? You can hear that playing right now. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to be able to leave us with. Tailgating, a great time, a great product, great support, and a great start to, hopefully a great era inside of, Prairie View football. And that's all I want to leave you with. Make sure you blessing other people. If you ain't doing anything, again, I get life may be hard for you personally, but make sure you're reaching out and you're blessing other people, man. Because again, at the end of the day, man, that's what we were put on this earth to do.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate it so much for all y'all. Hey, listen, get your tickets. Section 107, we're going crazy this year. All right. Now, if you so happen to not be able to make it to 107, it's okay. We understand, right? Slide on 106, 109, 110, you good, right? But for Section 107, we getting down this year, all right? So make sure you grab your season tickets because he just painted a picture for you. You know what I'm saying? And that picture, that picture is only complete if we're in the stands, though.
That's it.
That's the only way that picture is complete, is if we're in the stands. You know what I mean? And so, man, I appreciate you for coming through, man, and just for sharing your time with us. Obviously, man, we definitely got to keep connected, obviously, going into to the fall season and stuff. So we definitely going to wrap some more, man. But we definitely appreciate you coming through. And for all y'all, right, who in the chat, I got you. I got you before we close off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you want. You You know what I mean?
That's it.
Breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, we holler at y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.